Hey, Leo, man, I haven't talked to you in a few months now. Since your last fight at One Championship, I know that a few of your fights, or maybe your last fight, got canceled. So the rest of the year, you're just training. But you do have a few fights coming up in the beginning of next year. Could you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, well, my last fight in one championship that were in June against Rodlek, I fought again 5 weeks after that fight. I won that fight by knockout, well, TKO round four. That were on the Yokkao promotion. I was meant to fight again on Yokkao in October, but I've had a bit of a knee injury, so I didn't want to push my body a bit too much. I've already had one knee operation this year. I didn't want to push it and then end up being injured anymore. So I thought it'd just be best to rest up a couple of weeks and then get back to training. I'm back in full flow now. And my next fight's on the 10th of January on the One Championship card in Bangkok.
All right, now that card has not been released yet. So can you
No,
release any information
I'm not.
about
I'm
that?
not allowed to say my opponent just yet. I'll get in trouble if I do that. So, but I'm
Okay.
sure it'll be. They've just announced the card before it in December in Malaysia, so I'm sure it won't be long before they start to announce the Bangkok card as well.
Yeah, well, whoever you're fighting, a lot of people love your fights, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of eyes on a name that I'm pretty sure they're gonna give you a big name. I know you don't want to say anything, but you know how it is.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
good.
that.
It'll be a good one. It'll be a good fight. I'm looking forward to fighting in the MMA gloves again as well. I enjoyed it last time because it was a really tough fight against Rodlek, but that's how I like him. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Switching back and forth, from the big gloves, so to say, to the MMA gloves. Um, are you used to it by now, or is it still kind of like you have to kind of get a little? You need a little
It,
bit of time to
it's
get adjusted to it.
Yeah, it's still pretty new to me. So, like I say, I've only had one fight in him against Rodlek, and then 5 weeks later, I fought again straight away in the big gloves. To be honest, my hands hadn't fully recovered by the time it was time to fight again because Rodlek was tough, man, and I bounced some massive punches off of his head, and he took them. And after the fight, my hands were a bit banged up. I was surprised my hands weren't a lot more smashed in. To be honest, I really expected him the way we were throwing down in that fight. I really expected him to be some damaged, but they weren't too bad actually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it again, definitely. So, but I've got the same schedule again. I'll fight on the 10th of January in the small gloves. Then 6 weeks later, I'll be straight back fighting on Yokkao again in the big gloves. So I'm gonna have to like keep my training applicable to both styles, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's I don't know. It's hard to say, like what's easier? Is it easier going from the smaller gloves to the bigger gloves or the bigger gloves to the smaller gloves? I'm pretty
There's
sure
certain
since the
things,
bigger gloves cover more defensively, it's much
yeah.
better.
There's certain things you can't do in the small gloves that you can do in the big gloves, like long guard and stuff like that, just because there's so many gaps. When I was training for the Rodlek fight, I used the long guard a lot in Muay Thai, but we were training not to do that because obviously there's so many gaps. The one time I did do it, he tagged me big right around the back of my ear, and I got an 8 count for it, which respectively lost me the fight because the first round we drew. The second round, he obviously won 10-8, but then round three, I destroyed him round three. If I'd have had one more round, I think I'd have stopped him. But because of the 10-8 round, I lost it, and that was all down to making that one mistake where I put the long guard out and there was too many gaps in there, and he found a gap and he caught me right on the back of my ear, where obviously that's where all your balance is and that. So yeah, I need to be careful and think about stuff like what type of guard to use and the type of head movement and that. So yeah, he's quite tough moving back and forth. I would probably be better off just sticking to using one style of glove. But if I had to choose one style for now, it'd be the bigger gloves just because of longevity. You're obviously going to get, I'll get more time out, I'll get more wear out my arms, my face, my brain. But just to put the little gloves on every now and then and give the fans like some exciting fights, I do enjoy it.
Yeah. What's the response from the Muay Thai purists? When you step in with those small gloves, what do they say, when you run into people and they ask you about it?
Um, the first thing is saying, what's it like? How different is it compared to the big gloves? It is very different. Like I said before, like just one mistake in them gloves, you are going to get tagged. And the one championship gloves, they're unlike any other MMA gloves that I've ever put on before. I had a guy over training me this morning who fights in Bellator America, and I had the gloves in my bag, and he put them on, and he was like, "Wow, these are like the hardest MMA gloves I've ever felt." So you've got like the best strikers on the planet punching each other's face in with these gloves. you make one mistake, you are going to end up, you're in big trouble. So that's the main difference, really. Just you're going to be a lot more like, you cannot, there's no room, no margin for error whatsoever in those gloves. That's the first thing I say. But the second thing I say is it's very exciting, and it's exciting.
I want to go back to Tokyo in Japan. They had the featherweight Grand Prix finals, $1 million.
Yeah.
I wanted to pick your brain about that fight. Did you feel that fight lived up to the hype? Did you feel it was an exciting fight? What is your breakdown of that?
The Petrosian fight?
Yes.
I just thought he did exactly what he needed to do. It was a perfect performance from Petrosian, really, to be honest. Sana looked really dangerous in his previous two fights, but Petrosian just shut everything down that he tried to do. The other two fighters, Jabba and who did he fight before? I forgot who he fought before. Oh, it were a big upset, wasn't it? Oh, Yotonklai. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the subtle movements and stuff like that Petrosian has, and they both tried to like fight him head on, and they played into Sana's hands. Petrosian didn't do that. He was smart. He switched on. There were a lot of money at stake, so why should he go to war when he knows he can fight that style and take the money like that? There's no point going to war and giving the other guy a chance at a 50-50. That's not Petrosian's style, really. He's like he's a technician in it, and that's what he did. He fought his style, made the fight his fight, and he won pretty comfortably, I thought.
Yeah, especially with $1 million on the line, you need to win.
You don't want to do it. Yeah, you don't want to be doing anything stupid and just going 50-50 gung-ho, swinging around, which is probably what I'd have done, but that's not what, you know what I mean? But that's my style. So, but Petrosian's a technician, and when he fights as well as he did that night, there's not many people who live with him.
This fight coming up January 10th in Bangkok, your camp for this fight, it's probably pretty long, right? Because right now we're at the beginning of November.
So, yeah, I'm just starting now. I want to be in the best shape possible, you know, like it's a big stage to fight on, and I want to be able to give my best performance. This is a bit of a bucket list for me, that, because I lived in Thailand for 2 years. I fought in every stadium in Thailand. I fought in all the main stadiums. I fought all over Thailand and all big promotions. And to fight on one championship in Bangkok, this is like a bit of a bucket list thing for me. So I want to like make sure everyone gets the best hitman. Do you know what I mean? I want to fight like hard, strong, fit, and I want to really, really put on a good performance. Not only that, it's Christmas Day soon. So if I start training and diet hard now, I can still have my Christmas dinner closer to the fight. So if I get my weight down now, then I can still enjoy Christmas a little bit. But I'll enjoy my Christmas dinner. Then on Boxing Day, I'll be flying straight to Bangkok. And I'll finish off my training at Yokkao camp.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. It's always good to see people taking that initiative and getting out there a little bit earlier, you know, instead of flying out the week of the fight, which is, I think, a big mistake by a lot of fighters.
Yeah, it's going to be hot at that time of year. It's just starting to get into the hot season in early January, so I want to be out there and acclimatized. Even if the arena is aircon, it still will play a little bit of a part in it if I'm not acclimatized properly. So if I get out there like 15 days before, that should be enough.
Definitely. Now, you've been in the news recently for this back and forth. You know, I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
You know, with Dave Leduc, he was recently on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said some things about Muay Thai. You didn't really, you know, it didn't hit you well with. Now you responded on was it on Facebook or Instagram?
I wrote some on Facebook, which were basically, a lot of it were British humour. So I'm watching a few left-weight fights, and the technique, and no one can argue with this. The technique of the left-weight fighters is poor. They are tough men. Do not get me wrong. I understand how tough they are and how crazy they are and they like to fight. But the technique of 99% of those guys, it's poor technique, and a lot of the fights are wild. But that's what draws people to it. But just it's they like the bruteness of it, and they like those crazy fights with the headbutts and the bare knuckle and stuff like that. All my point was getting is that basically, but I was saying it in a way of British humour, which I don't think he understood. And a lot of the Burmese people who were like all jumping on me, obviously they didn't understand either. A lot of it was meant to be just in jest. So then he started shouting his mouth off, which was no humour about it whatsoever. But the thing is, he fights all these small guys, and then he calls out people like Bukaw, who he knows he's 15 kilogram lighter than him. And then he's deleting people's comments who commenting on his stuff, calling him out, and then he deletes it. Then they were inboxing me saying, "Look, I want to fight this guy. I keep commenting, but keep deleting my comments." So I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to put something on my Facebook. But a lot of it was joking. I did not say anything about Dave on my actual post. The only thing I said about Dave where he got mentioned was, Dave Leduc says they don't kick in Myanmar left way rules because headbutts and punches are more dangerous. I responded to that by saying, I think it's because they don't kick properly. I think kicks can be just as dangerous. I stopped a lot of people with leg kicks. If you're doing that properly, it can be dangerous. I didn't say anything about Dave, his technique, his fights, or anything. He was the one who started making it personal about my fights and stuff like that. But then I came back with back and forth, and just got a bit out of hand. Everyone seemed to enjoy the little beef on the internet and stuff, though. And then a lot of other fighters started jumping on it, saying, "Oh, I want to fight Dave," and this and that. And there were Burmese people sending me death threats in my inbox. "We'll kill you if you ever come to Burma." I'm like, "Listen, I don't ever want to come to Burma. I'm never coming to fight left way. Don't worry about that." But then he's okay saying, he said stupid stuff like, "Well, I'll give 10 grand to charity if Liam fights these Burmese rules." The president of the WLF messaged me and he offered me half the money I get to fight on one championship. And I said, "Well, no, why would I do that if it's half the money?" I said, "I need more money than I get on one championship for it to be worth my while. It's a smaller promotion. It's smaller scale. It's obviously I don't want to be smashing my hands to pieces. Why would I do this for half the money?" And then they went, "Okay, we'll offer you a little bit more." And it was still nowhere near the money that I get on one championship. So obviously I wasn't going to do this fight. So then I said, "All right, if you're going to give 10 grand to charity, I'll give 10 grand to charity if you fight Muay Thai against Simon Marcus or someone else of that stature." And then he went quiet then. So he was just trying to make me look stupid by saying, "Oh, I'll give money to the kids and this and that." Well, if you've got money to give to them, just give it to them anyway. You don't need me to come fight left way for half the money that I get to fight Muay Thai. But yeah, we're all crazy and it was funny. I made a bit of a joke out of it with my videos and stuff like that, and it got a bit of good exposure for everyone. And you know what? He probably got a lot more exposure for left way as well, so he should be thanking me, really.
So it all started as a joke on your side and kind of like just explaining something from your point of view. And then you didn't even really like tag anybody. You didn't tag Dave, but somehow he got a hold of it. So somebody must have told him. Somebody must have sent him the message.
Someone sent him it, yeah. And then, like I said, the only thing I said in the whole post about Dave was, Dave Leduc says in left way, the elbow and headbutt more, punch more, just because it's more dangerous than kicking. That's why they don't really kick. Which, yeah, I get that. But I said, I don't think that. And I said a lot of them can't really kick because his technique's that bad. That's the only thing I said about it. I never mentioned Dave. I never went personal on him. He was the one who brought it personal to me. And I was going to ignore it at first. And then I thought, you know what? I'm not ignoring this. And then it got just escalated. It was funny, though, and everyone had a good time reading the beef. So
on your side, it's just like, it's over. It's done.
Oh, yeah.
There's no fight happening because at the same time, the money's not right.
No, the money's terrible. Dave were writing all over people's Instagram going, "Yeah, it's double what you'll get in Muay Thai." So I thought, all right, then I won't be expecting an offer here. And the president of the WLF, he inboxed me, and the first offer was terrible. And I thought, well, I said, no, it's like half what I get to fight Muay Thai. And then he upped it a little bit, and I said, it's still not enough. I said, if you want me to fight those rules, it's going to have to be more than I get to fight Muay Thai. Otherwise, what's the point for me? One championship and Yokao and people like that, they are the biggest stage. It's worldwide. Everybody watches it. Not many people even know what left way is. A lot of people, when all that beef were happening, especially a lot of people I know who only follow fight sports, like they follow MMA and UFC and watch one championship, they were like, what is that? What is it? Because it's only just coming to light now. So for me to do something like that, it'd have to be the only thing that's going to make me want to do that is to make it worth my while to get some money out of it. And if they're not offering like a lot more than I get paid for Muay Thai, what's the point for me?
Like you said, the weight doesn't match. If the money don't match, the weight don't match. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But he started it, though. He started calling out Bukaw with 15 kilo lighter. He called Muay Thai easy. He said if if left way was easy, it would be called Muay Thai and stuff like that. But he only had about 12 Muay Thai fights in Bangla Stadium. So he doesn't know what it's like to fight at elite level Muay Thai because he's never done it. So how can he make a comment like that? So that's all I would retaliating back at, really. And I retaliated back with a bit of British humour, which I don't think he got. That's all. Well, I thought it was funny anyway.
What is the history with Eddie Farrell? Because I saw that you tagged him. I think that he called out Dave a while back, but that fight never
I think
happened?
he's been trying to get that fight, and Dave basically called him a punching bag or something. He insulted. Oops, sorry, dropped the camera. He insulted Eddie, and called him a punching bag or something like that. So Eddie put up a big status on his Instagram the other day as well. I know Eddie wants that fight. He's been chasing it for quite a while. I know that Zidov Akuma has got a lot of guys that have been chasing that fight. Honestly, the amount of people who jumped into my inbox going, I want to fight. I've been trying to get a fight with him for so long, but he'll never fight me. He only fights like smaller fighters and stuff like that. It was crazy, but obviously I don't know how it works. I don't know how the promotion's going left way, or I don't know who's a big name and who wins, so I don't know how it all work, or if Dave and his promoter pick the opponents or what. I honestly don't know how it works. But yeah, the amount of people who were saying, I've been trying to get a fight with him, I want to fight him, it was crazy. But there's so many people out there who do want a shot, but I don't know how it works, how he's obviously either picking his own opponents or they're not, I don't know, they might not be as good as him. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about left weight to comment on something like that.
Well, it seems like your name is big enough to where they're going to come and offer you the money to fight Dave, right?
Yeah. Well, they were offering me money to fight someone else at my own weight as well. I said, well, make a good offer then, but they still didn't. Yeah, obviously, the money's not going to be as good as one championship. It's still like a growing sport. And I even said in one of my posts, fair play to Leduc, because he has actually done a good job of promoting it. More people do know about it now, but if you're looking for a sport with longevity, and that's not it, do you know what I mean? Especially, it's not going to... I can't see it taking off like big in America. He has got a show in America coming up, but I can't see it taking off big over there. It's just going to be like what the first UFC were like, and what's going to happen, like with people headbutting people and smashing their hands in. You're not going to last long doing that.
Respect him for growing that sport out of nowhere.
Yeah, even when we were beefing, I actually said in one of my things, fair play, you've done a very good job at promoting that, and you've got it out there. And after I even said as well, so I'd probably do him an even bigger favour even now, because there's more people knowing about it as well, so he should be thanking me, really.
Yeah, just like yourself, the Joe Rogan podcast, grew your name, and him being on that also grew him and the sport. So, growing martial arts all over the place, man. It's all good.
Exactly. Everyone got a bit of coverage, didn't they? Everyone got a bit of coverage. Everyone had a good laugh in the time. But yeah, as for me fighting those rules, unless someone throws like another zero on the end of what they were offering me, I'm not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely, man. Well, I'm excited for you to get back in that one championship cage, man. Put on those small gloves and show us what you got. I know you said that you're putting in a hard camp, a long camp this time around. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, Liam, man, for the time. Like always,
no problem.
I appreciate it, man, because you are one of the busiest dudes out there in Muay Thai. You're everywhere. Seminars, fights, training camps, everything.
I know, yeah. I've got seminars every weekend up until Christmas as well. So yeah, I am busy non-stop. But I won't have it any other way. I love the sport. I love promoting the sport, and I look forward to putting on a show for everybody on the 10th of January.